Hey, Internet, Mo Friggin back again. You know, if you're like me, you like to keep your number one EDC item, your body, in shape. You like to run, you like to work out. That's what I like to do. And I like to listen to pop music while I'm doing it. So sometimes I think about what is the number one pop song of all time. I also picked up a knife to go with it, okay? So if you're not interested in the pop song, you can skip down to the time code below and just skip to the knife. But listen to it. Listen to the pop song stuff. It's going to be great fun. All right, let's get the show on the road. Now, what is a pop song? I don't know, you guys. It's popular music. It's the Billboard Hot 100. It's dance music. It's fast-paced music. Not always fast-paced. I mean, but if I'm going to work out to it, it's going to be a little bit more, upbeat. And I listen to podcasts and I listen to books when I work out, but it just doesn't get me pumped like pop music does. You know what I'm saying? All right. My bias is I grew up in the 80s. The number one pop star in the 80s was, of course, Michael Jackson, maybe of all time. What song started it all? And it's this song, which I think is the greatest pop song of all time. It's I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Okay? Stay with me here, folks. Stay with me. Here's another one of my biases. I sang backup for Michael Jackson. One time they put on a show, the Jacksons put on a show at the MGM Grand that was called Jackson Family Honors. And my picture happened to be they got a picture of the event with Michael Jackson standing by one of his brothers, and I happened to be standing right behind them in the picture. So my picture is in Rolling Stone magazine. We watched his video releases. They were national events, like Super Bowl events, to watch Michael Jackson new release videos. We all know the song by the Jackson 5, A.B.C., but that wasn't their first song. Their first song was, like I said, I Want You Back. Recorded in California, even though it was a Motown record, which is known for being in Detroit, they was recorded in California when Michael Jackson was only 11 years old, making him the youngest person to ever record and be the lead singer on a number one hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Written and produced by The Corporation, which is a group that Berry Gordy, who's the founder and owner of Motown Records, came up with because he was sick of writers of pop songs becoming popular themselves. And so he said, well, you guys are all just going to be part of The Corporation. Your name's not going to be on the record itself, just The Corporation. And he was part of that too. So he got writing credit for these songs. Originally, I Want You Back was written for Gladys Knight and the Pips, and it might have been a very different song if they would have done it. They kind of changed the lyrics up a bit and toned the tone down to be more of a puppy love type 11-year-old song because it was being recorded by 11-year-old. It was played by not the Jackson 5, but by the Funk Brothers, the Motown Records in-house band. And of course, they killed it. They destroyed it. The band recordings on these songs are incredible. I Want You Back just has an iconic bass line. This song stayed number one for 4 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. The Jackson 5. Who are the Jackson 5? Let's see if we can name them. Jermaine, Tito, Marlon, Michael. Who am I missing? Jackie Jackson. How could you forget him? Joe Jonas. The story is, and they would say this to the media quite a bit, the Berry Gordy and as well as Diana Ross would say that she discovered the Jackson 5, which wasn't true, but it kind of promoted Diana Ross and they kind of promoted the Jacksons kind of together as being interlinked, and they were interlinked for a long time, and it worked and people sold, but it wasn't true. Let's turn on I Want You Back. Let's stop it there. Did you hear that beginning with the piano going down like that, glissando? I mean, you can't. Let's listen to that again. That was fantastic. Don't miss it this time. Okay, listen to the bass line. The bass line itself is like its own hook. That's amazing. And it kind of goes along with the chorus. When you they kind of sing along to that same beat. What's next? The guitar. Did you hear the guitar? Dee-ding, dee-ding. Let's hear it again. Oh, the orchestra kicks in. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back to your heart? I want you back, ooh, ooh, baby. I want you back, ooh, no, baby. I want you back. You guys, greatest pop song of all time, that song. rocks. I don't do it justice. Why am I even singing it? I don't even know. What makes this song so great? It's about 100 beats a minute. You can do CPR to it. You can dance to it. You can work out to it. Not only that. Okay, so that makes it a great pop song to listen to for us EDC guys. But it's withstood the test of time. It's been covered multiple times. It's been sampled multiple times because it's a classic, because it's timeless. Ariana Grande did a version in Victorious. She sings backup. That's crazy. Ariana Grande singing backup. Crazy. It's on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Maybe that's where you've heard it from. Sampled by Jay-Z in his song Izzo, H-O-V-A. Does that sound familiar? Can you hear it now? 6 million copies sold of that song. Now, it was the first of 4 number 1 hit songs for the Jackson 5 in a row. That one started it all. To say any of the others are the greatest pop song of all time is crazy. This is the one that started it all. And it's great. Next up was A.B.C. And I know you know this one. A.B.C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as do, re, mi. A.B.C. 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me, girl. Come on, let me show you what it's all about. Classic. How to get an A, na 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 na. You gotta love that part. Now he sings this weird thing. Sit down, girl. I think I love you. No, get up, girl. Show me what you can do. This one, A.B.C. took the number 1 spot. Guess which song it knocked off the number 1 spot? The Beatles' Let It Be. That song lived on the same charts as Let It Be with the Beatles. Crazy. You wouldn't be faulted for thinking this was the Jackson 5 first number 1 hit because it fits their persona, their 11-year-old persona. They're talking about simple school stuff, arithmetic, ABCs, do, re, mi's, 1, 2, 3's, how simple love can be. And it's got hook for days. This one's also been sampled like crazy. It's got that great line in it where he goes, na 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 na, neener neener neener. I love that. Sampled by Naughty by Nature, OPP, which is a song from the 90s that I, of course, listen to. Let's go over to the table and check out the knife I got. Of course, it's a CRKT knife. Do you already guess what it was? Yeah, it's the CRKT ABC, because the song is ABC, get it? All right, like I said, we got the CRKT ABC, standing for All Bases Covered. Comes in this nice box here and a bag. All right, there it is. CRKT ABC, not a knife I typically would have for me. It doesn't have a button lock, of course, but it is all black. It's got a nice little pivot collar there, black G10, some speed holes, tip up clip, non-reversible, T8 hardware all around. That's nice. It has a flipper tab, no other opening. I like this type of flipper tab where it's very minimal. Doesn't stick out at all. I like that quite a bit. If I'm going to do a flipper tab on my knife someday, it's going to be a minimalist flipper tab. I think I am going to have a minimalist flipper tab like that. Smaller if I can get it. Let's see how it opens up. Oh, and it's an assisted knife. Yep, it's assisted. There it is, the CRKT ABC, all bases covered. This is my first partially serrated knife. I do like those large serrations. I think those are going to be easier to sharpen and maybe even easier to use with those large serrations instead of small tooth-like serrations there. A 3.46-inch blade of 12C27. Now, 12C27, is that a good seal? It's very similar to like 7CR or maybe 440A, so not super great on the low end of budget steels. And for a $50 knife plus, that's not super great. Well, a lot of people will even notice, probably not. Let's see how that knife cuts. All right, we're cutting today. A randomized phase 2 study to evaluate efficiency and safety of AR-36 for prevention of acute mountain sickness. What did they come up with? Did not improve LLSS or AMS incidence in using current regimens. AR-36 was, see how it cuts. Let's see, over the serrations? It got in there. Let's see out towards the, and when we have a Tonto, you know. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it cuts. But this isn't meant for cutting paper. This is a knife for cutting fabrics. Now, here's what I don't like about this knife, and I've heard this said by other knife reviewers, is that when it gives you these places for your fingers to go, sometimes that's not great. And for me, that's not great. I'm having a hard time finding. It's got a choke up spot here with a little bit of jimping in there and there. That's where it's supposed to be right there. That's not bad. How about down here? And your pinky's falling off the edge. If you try to get back here, your pinky's falling off the edge. Oh, I'm not a huge fan of that handle. I don't know, I thought it was an interesting knife. I haven't seen a lot of reviews on it. Let's see, the closing ice assisted, so you have to work on that closing a little bit. But rockets out. Am I going to cut some boxes with it? My thumb is mostly healed. 3.5 weeks ago, I cut the tip of my thumb off. And am I ready to cut boxes again? No, I'm not. We'll hold off on cutting boxes with this guy. What am I going to do with this knife? Am I going to keep it? If you're interested in that knife, let me know down in the comments if you think that's a knife worth having. I think a better knife for Jackson 5 would have been the Smooth Criminal, but I couldn't get myself to pony up that money for that knife at this point, but maybe someday I'll get a Smooth Criminal and we can do a little update to this video. But for now, we're just getting the CRKT ABC. We got to ABC. They tried their luck one more time after that with school ground type song lyrics. Their third number one hit, probably their least well known out of all these 4 number one hits they had, The Love You Save. Let's hit it. Stop, 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 you better save it. Just like back to grade school, you're doing that same old thing. Stop, the love you save may be your own. Darling, take it slow. Darling, look both ways before you cross me. You're standing for the danger zone. This next part has got some historical figures and how they're related. So Benji is Benjamin Franklin, Christopher is Christopher Columbus, Alex is Alexander Graham Bell, Isaac said he'd kissed you beneath the apple, Isaac Newton. When Benji held your hand, he felt electricity. Alexander called you, he said he rang your chime. Christopher discovered you're way ahead of your time. All right, what does that one have? Well, it's got stop and look both ways before you cross me. You're heading for the danger zone. There's a little safety thing in there. I guess there was more when they originally wrote this song, but some of that got watered down. It seems like there's still a lot in there. And then it had this kind of history lesson in there too. So right along with ABC, it's got this kind of schoolyard, going to school, learning about historical figures and learning about some traffic safety and relating that to this love story of you better be careful. Your reputation's on the line here. Now it's Christmas time here in 2025, and we're going to start hearing those Christmas songs. They've already started. They started in November now. You have 2 Jackson 5 Christmas songs that are played every year. It's I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So you're going to hear those. So that's another legacy of the Jackson. At first I thought this was the weakest of the 4 songs, but because it's not played that much, it's kind of fun to have a new Jackson 5 song that's really good to add to the list of Jackson 5 songs you work out to. I'm going to make a little playlist of my favorite songs from this video down on like a YouTube playlist, and you can listen to that while you're working out. All right, the 4th and final Jackson 5 number 1 single. They had some number 2s after this, but never had another number 1. I'll Be There. And I know you've heard this one. This was Motown's best-selling hit from their Detroit era. Then this song went to number 1 again when Mariah Carey covered it. So this was a huge hit, I'll Be There. Little harpsichord sounding thing. You and I must make a pact. Where there is love, I'll be there. Build my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad that I found you. I'll Be There. Kind of showed the world that Jackson 5 wasn't just a bubble pop band. Well, they ended up having a total of 11 top 10 hits. I think the next best one that I enjoy is Dancing Machine. That has some, I think it made it to number 2. It's got some good parts and it's got a good breakdown. It's a pretty good song. So I'm putting that on my playlist below too for the Jackson 5. That's not the end of the legacy of greatest pop song of all time, which is I Want You Back. But it also spawned the career of Michael Jackson, who had his first number one hit in 1973 with Ben. Ben, the two of us need look no more. We both found what we were looking for. He ended up having 27 top 10 hits, either by himself or collaborations. That's crazy. Rock With You, number one hit. I love Rock With You. You know, the song I really couldn't get into very much was Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I don't like that. You got to feel the power. Oh, and it got the way he talks at the beginning drives me crazy, but it's kind of growing on me, and I really like that song. Beat It, Billie Jean, Bad, Man in the Mirror, Black or White. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Jermaine of the Jackson 5. Jermaine Jackson had never had a number one, but he had 2 top 10 hits. Can you believe that? Still the legacy of I Want You Back. Michael Jackson had a little sister named Janet Jackson. She wasn't part of the Jackson 5. I don't technically think she was part of the Jacksons in the 70s even. You're not going to believe this. Write down in the comments right now how many top 10 hits you think Janet Jackson had, either by herself or in a collaboration with someone else. Now, just remember, Michael Jackson had 27 solo top 10 hits. This is going to blow your mind. 26 top 10. I mean, how do you count the one where they collaborated with each other? But 26 top 10 hits. What are her top 10s that you think of? Miss You Much, Escapade, Rhythm Nation. So if you combine up Jackson 5 top 10 hits, Michael Jackson, the Jacksons, Janet Jackson, Jermaine Jackson, you get 73 top 10 hits. If you count all the covers, if you count all the songs that sampled these songs, I'm sure you'd get to 100 top 10 hits from all started with I Want You Back. Don't forget that without the Jackson 5 family band, would you have the Osmonds? Would you have Hanson? Would you have the Jonas Brothers? I don't know. They opened the door for all of that stuff. Due to the timelessness of the song, due to all the hits that came after it, all the influence it had on other bands and other people, I say I Want You Back is the number one pop song of all time. Fight me in the comments. Here's what I say. Thank you. Those of you who are watching my pop music videos, thank you. If you like my content, comment down below. Like, subscribe. Let me know what kind of videos you're interested in. What are your thoughts? That's it for this one. Godspeed. Farewell. We may never know where I ended up. We may never know.